Welcome back to another episode of the Shenmue AM2 podcast. We're your hosts, Andrew
and Matt.
And we are here to talk about a bunch of weird topics and things, and then give our thoughts on the canceled version of the HD that was to be included with the re-release of Shenmue 1 and 2.
What could have been.
What should have been. What might be.
No,
dun, dun, dun.
It won't be.
We'll talk about that. We may disagree on that. First off, if you watch us on YouTube or even listen to us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you use, please subscribe to us on YouTube and make sure you're hitting the notification button. I think YouTube did a cleanup, and I don't think everyone is being made aware that we have new episodes out. It's been about a month since we've released an episode, but the last couple, it looks like YouTube analytics might have pooched it a little bit.
What is it the kids say? Smash that bell?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hit that bell. Ding, dang, done.
Yeah. Oh, I want to call out thanks for the 5-star review. Well, from everybody, actually. Everybody who's reviewed us has given us 5 stars so far, I think.
Because we are perfect.
Because we are perfect. My Japanese pronunciation is perfect.
Somewhere out there, someone said we were perfect. To that person, you're one person is understanding what just happened.
This is a specific call out to you as you drive to work. New Yokohama. All right.
Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Thumbs up, YouTube review, or YouTube thumbs up, iTunes reviews, all of that helps. We really need that stuff. We also want to apologize, or mainly me. Our last episode, if you listen to it, the very end of it seems rushed. I got a terrible flu halfway through that episode and just was about to die. I live like a 2-minute drive from Matt's house. I could barely make it home. I have no idea what happened to me. I passed out later that night. Yeah. So if that episode seemed rushed at the end, my apologies.
And I want to apologize for trying to introduce a third co-host, which is my washing machine.
Yeah, you can hear that in the background.
Yeah.
The Shenmue AM2.
AM2.
All right. So, excuse me. Still a little sick as well. My wife and I went to New York, and 2 funny Shenmue-related things happened. One, we were at a barcade, and we had just gone to a store called Video Games New York. If you're ever in New York, check it out. They have everything underneath the sun in their store. There's also another store called 8-Bit and Up, not too far from there. So my wife and I were walking there, and we walked by the headquarters of the Hells Angels in New York. It was raining out. Their bikes were outside. They were covered.
Did you kick them over?
No. No one was there. Just looked like another place, except they had a logo on the outside that said Hells Angels. My wife was like, oh, that's weird. So we went to the store, whatever, went on with our day. So later on, I asked my wife which store she liked better, Video Games New York or 8-Bit and Up. And her opinion of 8-Bit and Up, she's like, yeah, no, we had to walk there, and, you made me walk by the Mad Angels. And she didn't realize what she said, and I'm like, the what? She's like, the Mad Angels. And then I could see the cogs in her head turning, and she's like, did I say the Mad Angels? I meant the Hells Angels. And I'm like, do you work for Londi?
She outed herself as one of Londi's servants.
Yeah, she's getting a dark side Hazuki.
You always want to give everyone a dark side Hazuki.
It's the best move in the game.
But that's good though, because you were always you're subliminally making her a fan. You're always ashamed of your wife that she doesn't like Shenmue.
Or Romano's Pizza. It's the best pizza we have here in St. John.
She's wrong there.
Yeah, she's 100% wrong. Calling her out.
If I walked by that Hells Angels place, I just would have busted the doors open. I would have been like, "Where's Terry?" And then I would have ran away.
The other thing was, we were in LaGuardia Airport, and I was talking to the wonderful people at Air Canada. And there's the desk that I was standing at talking to them had like a little thing to put your purse or whatever personal items you might have on it. So I set everything there, or what I thought everything I had in my hand was, which was my Nintendo Switch and a few other things. And then we went back, and my wife and I were playing Nintendo Switch while we were waiting for our plane. And I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my cell phone? Uh-oh. So I went and asked if I had left it at this thing we were talking to people at. And she's like, no, but I thought I heard Air Canada do a page about a cell phone. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go back over, and I'm like... And I didn't have the best conversation with these people at Air Canada because they weren't being very nice about something. So I'm like, hey, did I leave my cell phone here? And they're like, what type of phone is it? I said, an iPhone. They're like, what color? I said, black. They said, is there a case on it? I said, yes. They said, what kind of case? I said, an OtterBox. They said, what color? And I said, black. They said, what is your passcode? I told them my passcode. So... At this point in time, I'm 6 questions deep, and I'm like, just give me the phone, it's mine.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's your background? I went, oh, that's the Shenmue AM2 podcast logo. And she just rolled her eyes and gave me the phone. Oh. So I was like, said it like a proud parent.
Yeah. You wouldn't understand.
So that happened. Something I thought was weird, and the Nintendo Switch is a portable console. This is kind of a video game rant. I did not see one single person in New York at all with a Nintendo Switch.
Really?
We took the subway.
But you do see people with DSs?
Didn't see anyone with a DS either.
No.
I didn't even see anyone with a Nintendo Switch at Nintendo New York, the big store.
Handheld gaming is dead.
We saw one person on our flight from St. John, New Brunswick to Montreal on the airplane that was playing a Nintendo Switch, which I thought was kind of crazy because there was only the flight only seats 50 people. But people want to see Shenmue on the Switch. I was really surprised that I didn't see that many people playing the Switch.
Well, yeah. Switch games seem to sell well, though.
They do. And I think I want it on the Switch. I want it everywhere.
Yeah, it should go everywhere.
One other travel story. I'm playing through the Shenmue 1 and 2 re-release, and I was at the part where I'm in one of these buildings that has the elevators that just aren't realistic, that don't go anywhere.
They don't go to every floor. They skip floors. You have to get on another elevator to go to the odd floors and all that stuff.
Yeah, I stayed, when I went away to that Catan tournament in Toronto, I stayed at the Sheraton Downtown Hotel, and it had elevators like that. And I was just like, the idea of them was they were express elevators, so to get to the top floors, if you got in them, you didn't have to wait.
Okay.
But there's a pool that's halfway up the building, and then I got in the wrong set of elevators, so instead of going to my floor, I had to go down to the lobby to get into another elevator to go to my floor.
Oh my god.
And it was just, I didn't think of it to bring it up on the podcast till I was playing the game last night, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened to me.
These elevators are real. I always thought they were video game contrivances. Yeah, did you have to walk across any planks
No.
to get to the tournament?
I did not. What else did I have here in my notes? Our bet. Matt and I had made a bet about the Metacritic score of the new versions of the game. The bet was negated because the deadline that we put on it when we were, betting for stakes, Metacritic didn't have an Xbox rating, so we couldn't complete the bet.
So not enough people reviewed the Xbox version?
I think it has enough reviews now, but we had made the terms for the bet, so...
Very specific.
Yeah, we will...
No take-backsies.
Yeah. Our survey for the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter. We had put in, when we did it and recorded the episode about it, our name, Shenmue AM2 Podcast. I got in touch with them. I emailed and said, hey, is this okay? We want to make sure this fits with your terms and conditions. They said they weren't sure, so we should err on the side of caution. So we had to edit our name out of it.
Boo. So we couldn't find any way to mention our podcast in any of our reward tiers.
Yeah, so we had to change those. I don't remember what I changed it
But
to.
you hardcore fans will know. When you're playing Shenmue 3... and Andrew Letson's face pops out on a dice. A die? Dice?
Yeah.
You'll know who that is. And you'll know when you see the little chibi Matt Humphrey. You'll know who that is.
I thought for a moment we were going to have a new Shenmue 3-esque game that would just be stuck somewhere for eternity.
What do you mean?
Telltale Games closed down.
Oh, yes.
And the Walking Dead final season with Clementine, season 4, I think it is. 2 episodes in, they're like, no, we're done. and I don't know how cliffhanger of an ending it was, but I was just like, oh, that bums me out. I enjoy those games.
Did you buy it, the season pass?
No.
I did. Because before it came out, I think maybe the month before it came out, they had a really good deal where if you buy the season pass for Season 4, you get the Walking Dead collection, which is every other Walking Dead game previously. So the first 3 seasons and Michonne.
And 400 Days.
And 400 Days. You get all that for free if you pre-ordered the 4th season. But then, they announced they're going to cancel the 4th season. But then eventually they said, somebody else is going to take it over?
Skybound is taking it over, the company that technically owns
Walking Dead.
Well,
that's good. I hope they actually do that.
That really made me happy.
And I hope they keep the quality up.
Yeah, that made me happy. No October Kickstarter update.
I guess their heads down.
October 2018 Kickstarter update, none.
Didn't they say something last time about how they're going to go silent for a while?
Yeah, they said there'd be fewer and far between. We're still working on our review of that. I'm getting close to the end of it. Matt is not.
I'm stalled out. I'm waiting until the game is up to my standards, or they say we're not putting out any more patches. Then I'll just have to keep going. But I want to play it the best it can be. I can't stand this Rio silently running down the street thing, and all the other little itsy bitsy
spiders that went up the water spout.
Yeah, all the spiders all over this game.
We had a Smash Bros. Direct. And
you and I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, we did. First off, there is kind of something Shenmue related in it because Akira is an assist trophy.
I love that he's like Virtua Fighter 2-ish looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome that they put Akira in there.
But watching that trailer, there's a moment in it where it just goes to a black screen and said, on that fateful day. And I was watching it at work and I'm like,
no way.
And in my mind I'm like, the day the snow turned to rain? And it had nothing to do with Shenmue, but
that would have been so sweet.
We still have 5 DLC characters to announce.
Yeah.
Come on, Nintendo. He won't be in it.
No, he won't be.
Not a chance. No.
There's still only one Sega rep, isn't there, as a playable character?
Yeah, Sonic. No.
Who else?
Bayonetta.
Oh, yeah, right.
And Cloud from Final Fantasy. No, just kidding.
So there's 2 Sega and there's 2 Capcom. There's 1 Square, 1 Konami, 1 Namco. Is that it?
I think that is it. Yeah, because Pac-Man, Bayonetta, Sonic, Snake, Ken, Ryu,
Cloud.
Well,
I guess that would make 3 Capcom if you count Ken and Ryu separate. But
who's the other one?
Mega Man.
Oh yeah, Mega Man. Yes. All right. Steam page for Shenmue 3 is up. Mm-hmm. No details on it, but
new screenshots.
Yes. Rio punching the thing looks...
The QTE machine?
Looks good. Mm-hmm. Looks real good.
It does. Can't wait. I expect another delay.
They've already updated Shenhua's face on it too.
Yeah.
They put out a new image and then they, 2 days later, re-edited her face in it.
I don't understand why it's taken them so long to get these faces right. It's literally been 3 years of
tinkering with faces.
Tweaking faces.
I was listening to old episodes of our podcast while I was at work, and there was an interview with Yu Suzuki, and he talked about how Sega gave him the rights to Shenmue 3 to use, to do whatever, to make the game, but he was very clear that they kept the rights to 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And looking back, hindsight being 2020, it was definitely hinting that they were releasing the HD. And I think he would have known at that time, too, that was happening.
Yeah.
By the time frame they talk about how they were working on it. And then the other thing that hindsight being 2020 about is their domain names that they had registered. Shenmue HD, Shemnu HD, and Shenmue Remaster. Knowing what we know now from the Digital Foundry video, those make a lot of sense now. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why Sago's adamant that people not call this Shenmue HD, because they intended for it to be Shenmue HD, and it's technically still is, but not as HD'd as they would have liked to.
Yeah. That's crazy how that video just dropped out of nowhere.
Crazy awesome.
It's just new Digital Foundry video. Hey, look, there's this whole Shenmue game that was being made that no one's ever heard of. Have we never heard of this?
I don't know how I felt about it or feel about it now. Because I feel like this would have been awesome.
Yeah. We assume it would have been awesome. Maybe it wasn't going to be awesome, and that's why it didn't happen. I don't know.
Maybe it was like Sega Sammy's a publicly traded company, so all their decisions at the end of the day are going to be fueled by their bottom line. But really, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's more in play than we know about, and maybe once Sega or someone on the Shenmue 3 project was like, hey, you know, we're this far along. Do you think Sega maybe hit the panic button and was like, we need this out beforehand.
Probably.
We need to guarantee this.
They probably saw how long it was taking to remake the game from ground up, if that's what they were doing, and they're like, there's no way we're going to finish this in any decent amount of time. Can't afford to pay you guys for that long. It's not going to make its money back. Pull the plug. Do a quick and dirty up-res of the port of the original game.
Yeah,
it's an unfortunate situation.
It is, and now the fact, if we had have never have known about it, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but I'd be happy as a clan, be like, oh, here's Shenmue 1 and 2, we got it.
Yeah.
But now
you just want that, huh? They teased you with it?
Remember how I talked about how after E3 this year, I wasn't left wanting anything, because Shenmue 1 and 2 was on the way, Shenmue 3 is on the way, I didn't have this feeling of, all right, there's still something that needs to be announced.
Yeah.
I'm back in that boat. Saga, you put me back in the boat.
I've been in that boat. I want Shenmue Online, baby.
Welcome to the Shenmue A pod. No, the Shenmue WA pod. It's me and the wash. You've been replaced by a washing machine.
The Shenmue Watu. But actually, yeah, I'm half serious. I'd actually like to play Shenmue Online.
I would too. We got to do an eepisode about that.
Yeah, we keep saying we're going to do it, and we never do.
Let's do it. We'll do it after this. Our probably next episode is something cool. We had an interview with someone, and yeah, that's coming up.
Yep.
So, this Digital Foundry video came out of nowhere. It has footage of both Shenmue 1 and 2 in it. The Shenmue 1 side of it, we have the outside of the Hazuki house area, we have parts of Yamanose, we have Dobuita, we have the harbor, which is almost all of the game, aside from Sakuragaoka. Sakuragaoka.
That's for you.
It's somewheres in between Yamanose and Dobuita.
That's for
somewheres
you,
in there.
Yokohama.
Thanks for the 5 stars. Don't change it. It's somewheres in there, or somewhere in there. It's the majority of the game though that looks, and when I say the majority of the outside world. All of these places that you can go have insides to them. Every single building that you can go in has an interior. Obviously, none of the... If you watch the video, it's all kind of one generic NPC walking around with the placeholder.
It's a world entirely populated by one man.
And the child version of him is hilarious looking. And then there's
also, like, they all have these placeholder halos around their head, but I noticed in one shot of Shenmue 2, I think he had a placeholder words rotating around his crotch.
In Shenmue 2, we see a little bit of the Queen Street area next to the bridge going into Green Market Quarter. We also see parts of Manmo Temple. And was there...
The park with Jinmen?
Yes, the park in South Carmine Quarter is there. That one, it's a little choppy, but it still looks way better than the current version. So it looks like they had a fair bit of work done on this, and then it got axed.
Did it take them like a year and a half to do this? Was that it?
The video implies, and whoever did it at Digital Foundry, I think has more knowledge of the situation than they're sharing. But by the sounds of things, it had been worked on for a while. I want it.
I don't think you're going to get it.
I think we are going to get it.
How well do you think Shenmue 1 and 2 sold?
Well, if we're basing it on how many copies I've purchased, very well.
I think it would have to sell upwards of 3 to 4 million copies for us to get that remake.
It's not Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto.
Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto are going to sell, well, Grand Theft Auto's already sold like over 100 million copies. Red Dead's going to sell at least 80 million. But yeah, for them to make their investment back, I think it needs to sell, maybe 2 to 3 million copies, like Shenmue 1 and 2. It's not happening.
I think it is.
Okay.
There's a video.
New bet.
What are we betting?
Ongoing bet, no end date.
All right.
We're going to be like 60 years old, and they're going to remake Shenmue from the ground up, and you're going to be like, I win.
It's just Matt literally at my grave.
You win, buddy. You win. And then I piss on your grave.
You finally have the stake. You just throw it on.
Stake on the ground.
Just slides down my tombstone. Andrew Letson, 1985 to
whatever
2000, whatever. Still waiting for HD remake. So we'll have an open bet on this. We need to put stakes on it. Mm-hmm. More actual stakes, not.
I can never win this bet because it's just ongoing. It could happen after we both die, when we're both like 100 years from now.
Yeah, you can't win this bet.
Somebody eat my steak 100 years from now. Get Andrew's ancestors to buy you a steak.
I'm not going to die. I'm just going to put my brain in a new body.
Right.
And become like a Krang-like creature from Ninja Turtles. Except not evil.
I'm going evil.
Off the rails. We are off the rails, people. I do think we're going to get it based on the fact that there's a video that Adam Korlick put out showing that he's talking about how Sega was very, very surprised and pleased by the sales numbers of this. Mm-hmm. And
we expected it to sell 10 copies. It sold 20.
I may have bought it 10 times myself.
Yeah.
Hold on here. Let me count.
Let's guess. I wonder if we'll ever find out the actual numbers sold. But let's guess. I'm going to guess 150K.
That's a stupid guess.
If anybody actually knows these numbers, let us know.
600,000. And we are making this bet on November 4th, 2018.
Oh, I didn't say this was a bet. I'm just guessing.
Not a bet. I guess 600,000. Minimum. Now, myself, right now, and this may change, but I have bought it digitally on PS4. Physical on PS4 twice. One opened, one non-opened. Physical on Xbox One twice. So, one open, non-open. So there's 5. I have it pre-ordered from Japan.
Twice?
I have 2 copies that I may end up canceling of the limited edition. And then I have the limited edition ordered directly from Sega where you get the bonus phone card thing. Mm-hmm. And then I have those ones from Europe that have the art book and music CD with them that I ordered a PS4 and an Xbox One of those. So yes, I've purchased this game 10 times.
Oh my goodness. You're going to have to open up a Shenmue museum.
Yeah, once we redo my basement, I think I'll put a shrine in there. I'll pray at it every day.
Yeah.
For Shenmue 4 and
ding the little bell.
The health and welfare of Yu Suzuki every day. Yeah, so HD, I think we'll get it. Matt doesn't think we will. Matt's remarkably wrong in this. I can't wait to laugh in his face.
When it happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this bet. I know how we can do this bet. When do you, if it did come out, when do you realistically think it would get released, if they were to do it?
Between Shenmue 3 and Shenmue 4, if Shenmue 4 happens.
So, name an actual time frame, though.
Before...
A year and a quarter.
Before Q3 2024.
That's really far into the future.
It is. Shenmue 4 is not coming until 2025, if it's coming at all.
So... I'm going to actually just make a realistic thing here, because Matt is...
I think I'm the realistic
Matt's
guy,
cray.
Andrew's always pie in the sky. Everything's all hunky-dory. Nothing ever goes wrong in the world.
Remember when you're like, we're never getting Shenmue 3? And what do we get, Matt? Shenmue 3. And then you're like, we're never getting 1 and 2 HD. And what do we get, Matt?
Hey.
1 and 2 HD.
I expect the worst, and then I can only go up from there.
Yeah, but your reaction wasn't amped up as mine was. You're like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Oh, there's my cat. No, so here's the deal. If 1 and 2 gets remade and it is not released by the 4th quarter of
22.
22.
Okay.
If it releases after the fourth quarter of 2022, I will buy it for you when it comes out.
Okay.
If it releases before then, you buy it for me.
Okay.
Shake on it.
My hands are sweaty. Oh, you're gross.
I did not spit on my hand. I made it sound like I did. So that's the deal on that. I can't wait for you to buy me this game.
I can't wait to buy you this game.
Assuming this podcast is going 4 years from now.
What could we possibly have to talk about?
It's just this bet.
Yeah.
We just released an episode.
Still hasn't happened, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
we're signing off. See ya.
Peace. So all that's happening. We have a cool episode coming up. We're going to be part of something pretty neat.
A neat event put on by neat people.
Yeah, that's all we can say.
All
for
we
now.
can say.
So we
Look
would
forward to that ambiguous thing.
Yeah, or not, or maybe, who knows. So you can find us on social media. We are at Shenmue AM2 Pod on Twitter, Shenmue AM2 Podcast at gmail.com, youtube.com/Shenmue AM2 Podcast. We have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. We are Shenmue AM2 Podcast on the Shenmue Dojo. Please, please, please like, subscribe, notifications, thumbs up, anything you can possibly do to support us.
Tell a
is greatly
friend.
appreciated. Tell a friend, phone a friend.
Download it on their iPod or whatever people use
Yeah.
nowadays without their knowledge.
Yeah, all that stuff. We want to get our numbers up even more with the release of Shenmue 3.
If anybody
coming out.
wants to hire a skywriter for us, that'd be great.
Yeah. Or a mime. We're going to start miming this podcast.
Yes.
It's just 47 minutes of silence.
But it's epic and compelling.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor this week.
Great View Herbs.
For all your herb needs in Kowloon, we are your one-stop shop.
No punks allowed.